What's cracking, everybody? Alright, we got the Sony State of Play. We're gonna go ahead and watch that today first. That's what we got going on right now, man. I knew there was something going on today. I think there's a couple game shows, so we're gonna just jump right into that.
Original PS5 on the spec sheet. The Pro comes with a 2TB NVMe SSD, which is twice as large but the same speed as the original super fast storage drive. That addresses one of the main complaints
I don't know if
about the
that's
launch
too loud
PS5,
for y'all, but
which is that 1TB goes very quickly when you're installing games that take upwards of 100GB at a time. For context, an extra 1TB in the form of an aftermarket SSD would run you around $100 if you want the same storage for a base PS5, which sweetens the deal when looking at the price difference between the PS5 and PS5 Pro. The big upgrade though is in the GPU,
we got some
at
commercials and shit.
16.7 teraflops, which is a sizable jump on paper from the 10.3
right
teraflops of the original PS5. Sony says the Pro packs 67% more compute units and onboard memory that's 28% faster, resulting in up to 45% better performance. Without context, those numbers don't really mean much, but the details in my testing prove that they amount to a lot more than empty marketing promises. The important feature that these upgraded specs support specifically is PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, or PSSR. Much like NVIDIA's DLSS, this is Sony and AMD's AI-driven upscaling technology that uses machine learning to construct images that can appear with a quality close to full 4K resolution without having to stress the system's hardware to generate that detail through raw processing power. Granted, it won't be exactly the same as native 4K since it's scaling from a lower base resolution, but it doesn't have to since you're not going to be putting it side by side with the real thing, and the vast majority of people aren't going to be able to tell the difference in most cases,
to change the
especially
title
while they're enjoying the higher frame rates and visual effects this technique allows. It's nice to see Sony is moving away from chasing raw computing power as the end-all be-all of console tech, and as upscaling continues to advance, so too will its implementation in games. As you'll see in our performance breakdown, PSSR is one of the major keys in creating parity between quality and performance options. It also opens the door for games to explore ray tracing techniques to a greater extent, although mileage will vary based on every specific updates, where developers will choose to prioritize different aspects of their respective games.
Twitch.
So the PS5 Pro is a bit more complex than simply having one uncompromised Pro-enhanced mode. The PS5 Pro's tech gives developers room to be experimental in pushing boundaries, especially with ray tracing because it packs enough power to hit higher frame rates without sacrificing as much graphical fidelity. There's still some level of compromise to be made though, so if you're hoping that the Pro would take out all the FOMO stress out of selecting between 60 FPS performance or 30 FPS fidelity modes, well, in some games now there are even more modes to choose from. Alternatively, if you love having that control over how your games run, that's great news. In my experience though, the visual gap between these modes is much smaller than it is on a base PS5.
Is the audio too loud? If it is, hey King Hearts, what's up, man? Hey, is the audio too loud or can you hear me clearly?
Party game, Marvel's Spider-Man 2. On PS5 Pro, you get to choose between Fidelity Pro and Performance Pro modes. The latter offers visual quality that's identical to the base PS5's Fidelity mode,
Alright, for sure, man.
all the original ray tracing features intact while maintaining a smooth 60 FPS. Effectively, the best of both worlds when compared to the PS5's modes. However,
I see a little bit of a difference, but not really.
Insomniac cranked the knobs even further, putting features like ray-traced ambient occlusion, key light shadows, and further improved reflections on the table. But all those upgrades come at the cost again of being chained down to 30 FPS. You can tweak some of these settings to squeeze out a few extra frames, but I wasn't able to reach anything near 60 FPS even when turning everything down a notch. Horizon Forbidden West showcases another interesting implementation of PS5 Pro enhancements. It has 3 options: favor graphics, balance, and favor performance. Again, the performance-based mode is the way to go since it hits a stable 60 FPS while in some respects looking even better than the base PS5's graphics priority mode. You get finer detail and foliage, better lighting, and a better resolution rendering technique.
I don't really see the difference though, to be honest, bro. I just don't.
Make the gameplay experience so much better, and you can still enjoy the lush vistas with that added clarity. The PS5 Pro's graphics priority option, on the other hand, caps Horizon Forbidden West at 30 FPS, but pushes the boundaries with a higher base resolution. Yet, I don't find the trade-off worth it since it's tough to distinguish with the fantastic Pro Performance mode. The curious part is the balanced option, which goes for 40 FPS, and strikes a middle ground with visual quality, but honestly, it's not worth the 30% cut in frame rate for marginal visual gains. The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered takes a different angle as well. It oddly retains the same exact 2 options available from the base PS5, graphics or performance.
Yeah, it's barely an improvement.
But there's a new Pro option that uses PSSR to take 1440p
You might as well just get a PC if you're going to spend $750
while retaining other visual qualities of the PS5's graphics mode and still hitting a consistent 60 FPS. It was already a visually impressive remaster on PS5, but the boost in performance while having all of its graphical details sing is nice. Of all the games that have gotten PS5 Pro updates ahead of launch, Alan Wake 2 is certainly the most interesting one. Remedy decided to go all in on ray tracing with its graphics mode, and it's absolutely stunning, with robust reflections and lighting giving its world a much more
colors
striking
do look a little bit
especially
better
in the way that feeds into its atmosphere. The Pro enhancements stretch the limits of what PSSR is capable of, however. In graphics mode, it uses a base resolution of 1224p and runs at 30 FPS to make room for all those sweet ray tracing techniques.
Oh yeah, I see.
You won't get those big ray traced features in performance mode, but it will target 60 FPS with an image quality akin to the graphics mode on the base PS5. It has to use a fairly low base resolution of 864p to get there though. It's still a great looking game in this mode, although it's definitely a blurrier image. Regardless, I find Alan Wake 2 shows a noticeable improvement over what you get from the base PS5, even if there are still compromises to be made.
The colors are a little bit better.
Now, when there's a new powerful console, there's always a racing game to flex the hardware. Taking speedy race cars down the track in F124 provides a pretty clear example of what ray tracing can do. When looking at the Pro Enhanced Quality mode and the base PS5's Quality mode, it's easy to pick up on the improvements in reflections and lighting, especially
I think there's
on
another
rain-soaked
game show
tracks.
too today.
And the Pro
I didn't know
is
there
able
was a
to
state
do
of play,
by
but this is a
using
Ghost of
PSSR
Yotei,
to still
so we're
target
gonna watch
60
this.
FPS.
But I swear there's another one.
Dragon's Dogma 2 is an example of where the PS5 Pro can bring a game out of the depths of weak technical performance to a much more playable state. By using PSSR, the Pro is able to put out noticeably higher and more consistent frame rates than the base console can, whether you choose to prioritize performance or graphics, which enables ray tracing too. Though it's not without noticeable drops in busy areas. It's a powerful console, but it's not magic. On the other hand, something like Final Fantasy XVI is an example of how a game without pro enhancements, or at least an uncapped frame rate option to just let the extra power work, isn't going to benefit in a tangible way without an update, since it's bound by the limitations that were built for its graphics modes. It's still capped at 30 FPS when prioritizing graphics, while the performance mode still targets 60 FPS with lesser visual quality.
I don't know, that game still looks fucking badass.
Now, that's a lot of technical information, but despite all those enhancements, the question still stands: is it actually worth buying a PS5 Pro? Frustratingly, the answer is always going to be, it depends on you. As someone who used to be a sucker for upgrading to new generations of high-end graphics cards to push my PC to its limits, the PS5 Pro scratches that old itch because I do notice and appreciate the differences it provides.
Yeah,
the
it has a
visual
little bit.
quality that the Pro Enhanced Performance modes have thus far look fantastic, and it's all the more enticing because
Bro, I'm trying to see the difference. I really am.
Because hitting 60
you can
FPS
see a little
gives a
bit
smooth
clearer.
gameplay experience that's tough to come back from. I've also found performance modes on the base PS5 to be lackluster in some cases, and since the Pro has shown the potential in addressing that shortcoming, I find that the new console can be a worthy investment. There are a few games out there now that make the Pro a more enticing prospect. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth's performance
Well, I think some of
mode
these
on
new
base
PS5 games that are
feels too
coming out are actually
compromising
worth
to me,
buying the Pro.
with in-engine cutscenes and
'Cause I
close-ups on
did want a
characters during
PS4 Pro
pivotal
once I
moments
saw it.
looking muddled at 60 FPS. Thus, I bit the bullet and managed with 30 FPS gameplay so that I could get the visual experience that uplifted its storytelling qualities. It worked well enough for that sort of game, but I'd much rather have been playing at 60 FPS. With the Pro Enhancement patch, Rebirth has a new Versatility mode that merges both the high-quality graphics setting with 60 FPS performance into a singular mode, so there's no choice paralysis, and it delivers the exact type of experience.
By the way, I'm going to be playing some Grandpa High on Retro today.
And can fully understand people who don't care quite as much about having state-of-the-art systems to play their favorite games, so long as they meet a reasonable balance between performance and fidelity, which the original PS5 only rarely has a problem pulling off with existing games. And for a lot of people, playing at 30 FPS isn't necessarily a deal breaker, and if you're happy with that level of performance, you might as well be happier with a few $100s still in your bank account. And the Pro is a hard sell for anybody who expects a whole new experience when they unbox a brand new console. The PS5 Pro doesn't fundamentally transform how games are played, it just makes them look prettier and run smoother. And if you're happy with how your games look and play on a base PS5, then it's absolutely not worth paying a premium to upgrade.
Content. Game of the year, matter of fact.
Considering that the PS5 generation has largely been described as, what if the PS4 was faster? It's a little difficult to get all that excited about a console that promises to be a faster PS5. The PS5 Pro does deliver on that for sure, and if you find the standard PS5 leaving more to be desired from a technical perspective, it's an intriguing prospect. Running updated games in the new performance modes gives you essentially the old fidelity modes, now targeting 60 FPS, sometimes with extra improvements. Sony's AI-powered upscaling tech is certainly impressive when playing games that have been updated for it, giving console players the same type of image quality and frame rate improvements that Nvidia's DLSS has delivered on the PC side in recent years. You're not entirely free from compromises because you often still have to choose between that new standard and even better looking fidelity modes at 30 FPS, though I found going with performance an easier choice this time around. At $700, it's not cheap, so you have to really desire that visual upgrade knowing that it doesn't transform the gameplay experience at a fundamental level.
Alright, there we
and
go.
to be fair, Sony never said it would. So as it stands, the PS5 Pro isn't essential, but it is certainly nice to have. For more on the PS5 Pro, be sure to check out our unboxing video and look forward to our detailed performance breakdowns. You can also read my full written PS5 Pro review on IGN.com. And for everything else in the world of gaming, stick with IGN.
Stick with IGN.
Well, now,
Alright.
aren't you a sight for sore
It's the
eyes?
fucking game, bro.
Platypus semen,
This
a
the
talking crash test dummy,
badass
a
game right
puppet
here.
soaking in a hot spring, this ugly bastard, Norman Reedus's nips. No, these aren't straight
Already seen
jacket
this review.
blabberings due to another vicious bout
They're
of
just
temporary
replaying
madness.
reviews.
Instead, they're just 10% of the bizarre things I've seen in Death Stranding 2 on the beach. But it would be far too easy to dismiss Hideo Kojima's works as acts of weirdness alone. I think we should encourage such wild creativity and be excited that someone is willing to show us things we'd never even thought of seeing. When viewed this way, Death Stranding 2 stands as an almighty achievement, a triumphant combination of complex sci-fi storytelling and thrillingly evolved stealth action that impressively builds upon the experimental foundation of its predecessor. It's beautiful, horrific, nuanced, and crucially, a lot of fun. Simply put, it's everything I wanted Death Stranding to be.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
The rhythm of Death Stranding 2 will be familiar to those who played the original. Reedus is back as Sample to Bridges, once again on a mission to make deliveries across treacherous terrain, often facing human and otherworldly threats along the path.
Dude, this game was
It
so
requires you to be
badass, bro.
prepared for what faces you on each mission by studying your map and packing accordingly. See a river too deep to walk through in your way? Bring a ladder or two along to cross with it. Spot a warning that BTs, the ghostly threats that stalk certain rainy spots, lurk in that area? Pack a few blood grenades to lob at them.
Boom.
It's this
Boom.
loop of preparation, overcoming both
God,
geographical
that game is
and
so
human
fucking
slash
awesome.
former human hurdles, and reaching your goal that makes up much of Death Stranding 2's 35-hour runtime when mainlining its
Yeah, it was kind of a short
missions.
game.
After a brief
I finished
tutorial
it pretty
chapter
quick.
in Mexico, Sam is given the goal of connecting Australia to the chiral network.
But I think it was
The online
I think it was
system
good
knitting
enough. I don't think it needed to be
civilization
100
together
hours.
after a world-ending event, much like he did with the USA in the original. Why is he doing that, and who is he doing that for? You'll just have to find out yourself.
From halfway around the world, how are we supposed to do that again?
This new continent offers a far greater variety of locations, as it shifts in its appearance and the challenge it presents with regularity. It further adds to the feeling of combating nature with this future tech, as
Dude.
the Earth itself seems to be fighting back against its increasingly digital future. Should we have connected? It's a resounding no, it seems, from Mother Nature.
What in the world?
Oh yeah, I remember this.
The dangerous desert expanses
when you went and got the
Road
kangaroo.
Warrior are no doubt an inspiration, and the guest appearance of Mad Max's creator George Miller is more than a mere coincidence. These are not just cinematic influences for the sake of it, as they inform and instruct Kojima's approach to gameplay too, and are reflected in an altogether more action-heavy evolution of the original Death Stranding's template. What initially presents itself as a pretty rudimentary style of stealth gameplay, mainly consisting of crouching in tall grass and performing silent takedowns, rapidly reveals its layers as your arsenal grows. For example, there's the introduction of a game-changing tranquilizer sniper rifle, which is something I found super satisfying to pick bandits off with. It may never truly become the stealth action playground of creativity that Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain is, but it frequently evokes that same feeling in brief moments.
Yeah, I thought it was a little
delighting
too
me
easy,
each time it does.
to
Death
kill
Stranding
the
2
enemies.
offers a lot more flexibility in your approach compared
But in Metal
to the
Gear Solid
original
it is
Death
too.
Stranding, making its combat much more engaging as a result. And you'll need to become accustomed to a variety of approaches as well,
I love how
because
fast
there's
the
no
guns shoot.
avoiding confrontation and the
Like, the
many
rate of fire
forms
for
it
the
takes
assault
this
rifles
time
are so
around.
fucking
Enemies
fast.
develop as you progress, and
You
knowing
dumped
which
on
are armored,
motherfuckers.
which have higher mobility, and what ammo type they're vulnerable to adds variables to each encounter, meaning you can't always rely on the same rinse and repeat tactics. That being said, if you're a decent enough shot with a sniper rifle, you can clear out most bases before enemies have time to reach you.
Nice.
Crucially though, it's just as fun when it goes wrong as when it goes right. There's a satisfaction in a perfectly planned attack going smoothly as you pick off each guard with a tranq dart, but a thrill when one shot goes awry and you're made to scramble, juggling your arsenal as enemies descend upon your position. Shooting the driver of an onrushing vehicle before stealing it to run over his friend is always fun, as is dancing around them in a machine gun turreted off-roader of your own design. Overall, there's a playfulness in Death Stranding 2's approach to combat that just wasn't present in the original's simpler, less imaginative system. It brings a dash of power fantasy to the mix, adding to the fun and making it a wholly more enjoyable game to
Death
play.
Stranding 2,
Enemy
man, I don't
AI
know.
may
He
still
did
not be the
pretty good.
sharpest, but it does enable some of that playing with your food energy that's always welcome. I played on normal difficulty and never really found any fight a challenge until things cranked up a little towards the end.
Yeah,
This
that's
lack
true,
of
that's
friction is deliberate though, with the increased toolset including many different gun and grenade types of varying loudness, allowing you to get through its story at a good pace. In fact, even boss battles can be skipped entirely if that particular challenge isn't what you're here for. This isn't something I'd recommend though, as they offer some of the most striking spectacles Death Stranding 2 has to offer. A giant tentacle mech is an early favourite, but there are many more monstrosities following later.
Dude, the crab
and I'll
was
keep
crazy.
them here.
The giant crab. Oh my god, bro.
But that one's gotta hurt.
Your action chops are also firmly put to the test in the sections that have you face off against newcomer Neil, played with a subtle intensity by Italian actor Luca Marinelli. They're particularly stunning stages full of flame and beauty that made me feel I was briefly taken away to a different game. But those lashings of cinematic style are painted across each encounter, and the many cutscenes that bookend them. Having time slow down
All
after
the Neil
dispatching
fights
an
are
enemy
sick,
is
bro.
not only very helpful when faced with multiple threats, but adds a slick layer of style to
The underwater
each
one was my
gunfight.
favorite.
No aspect of Death Stranding 2 is
P.
left
Diddy walking
untouched
simulator?
by its blockbuster aspirations.
Come on, man.
But as both elements and entities fight against you with more vigour this time around, you're in turn given new abilities to combat them with. Unlike the first game's relatively bare-bones character
I wouldn't even
progression,
call this game
now
woke.
skill points can be
I would
used
not
to
call
unlock fresh
Death
tools
Stranding 2
and
woke.
boost your stat sheet. Death Stranding 2 is by no means an RPG,
I would
but
not
it
call
does offer
Death
greater
Stranding 2
and much
woke.
appreciated variety when it comes to building out how you want your Sam to play. Want to be sneaky Sam? Invest in the ability to cover your tracks by scrubbing out your footprints. Want to be shooty Sam? Augment his arsenal so it packs a heavier punch. You'll ultimately be treading the same set of missions as every other player, but the ways you can choose to approach each
Ghost
one
of
are
Yotei
far
might be
more
woke.
varied this
We're about
time
to find
around.
out.
These perks can also be freely plugged in and out, reminiscent of how Nier Automata's fantastic
But what
chip
about
system
Stellar Blade,
functions,
man?
and offers great flexibility,
Blade ain't
further
woke.
enhancing your freedom when preparing
Elden
for
Ring ain't
specific
woke.
types of missions. Upgrades get unlocked in accordance with how you've been playing. For example, if you take a combat-heavy approach, you'll be rewarded with new skills like a semi-automated lock-on ability for your guns. It's a nice touch that further makes Death Stranding
we're
2
gonna find
feel
out.
like an experience that is in step with you, and another indication
I don't know
of
why
its
they
formerly
changed the,
rough
main
edges
character.
being sanded down for a much more
Yeah, me
enjoyable
too.
time.
I'm getting
On top
Wu
of
Chang later
perks,
on this
there is
month.
also no shortage of gadgetry and weaponry available to Sam. Completing side missions and increasing your star ranking with each
Wu
of the
Chang Fallen
outposts dotted
Feathers is a
around
game
the
I'm
map
looking forward
unlocks
to,
these
like,
options at a consistently
I can't wait
good
for that
rhythm,
game, bro.
as well as some that open up when you complete certain story
Yeah,
events.
Stellar Blade's
the
the
tools
shit.
get weird and wild too, coming at such a regularity that you'll be moving
And it's not
on
what
from
people
one
say, you know,
shiny
it's not
tool of
just a Gooner
destruction or
game, bro. It's
subterfuge
actually
to the
hella
next
fucking
with
good.
each mission. But it isn't just in combat that these accessories
Donkey
have
Kong
uses
Bonanza?
either,
I heard that was gonna
because
be
no
good,
matter
too.
how much Death Stranding 2
I heard that
has
was gonna,
cranked up
like,
the action this time
bring
around,
Nintendo
it is
back
still
or some shit
fundamentally about
for their,
porting cargo from one location to
you know,
another
their
across Australia.
IPs.
That vast
Nintendo
expanse
original
naturally
IPs.
leads to new delivery systems. Yes, turns out there really is nothing on Earth like a genuine bona fide electrified
love Stellar
6-car
Blade, man.
monorail. This new structure
Okay,
is a
I heard
godsend
about
when it
AI
comes to a
Limit when I was
handful of
playing
missions
First
that
Berserker,
require shipping
'cause it was
hundreds of
between those
kilos
two,
of
and
chemical
I really
materials
like First
over a
Berserker
rocky
Kazan.
coastline. But it does require quite the combined
haven't played AI
construction
Limit
job
yet.
between you and
I
the
heard it was
online
good.
community. That being said, I did settle on travelling on foot as little as possible quite quickly. On the beach is very kind in the way that it gives you a vehicle very early on this time around.
They have a demo for
when
AI
compared
limit
to the many hours it
on
took
Steam,
to fire up an
or what?
engine in the original. The missions themselves are incredibly Moorish, with that just one more job itch that I always had to scratch. There's a great sense of forward momentum which aids this sensation hugely, with backtracking thankfully a rarity in the sequel.
For sure.
Varied mission conditions also keep things fresh. These range from having to complete orders with a set time limit or being extra careful with fragile cargo.
I'm going to be playing
Again,
Grandpa
these
High on
parameters
Retro
force you
today.
to adjust how you prepare for each mission and ensure you can't just use the
After
same
the
toolset and
state of
methods
play,
on
and I
every
think there's
run.
another game
It's this consistent
showcase.
drive along a drip feed of new equipment that makes the whole experience more rewarding. The overall structure of Death Stranding's 2 campaign is leaps and bounds above
I don't
what
know.
came before, and whether it's unleashing bullets into a teleporting mech or
I don't know. I'm not
gently
too sure
navigating
about
a
Ghost of
river,
Yotei,
it all feels
but
intertwined
I
beautifully
just played
and
Death
serves the
Stranding 2.
complex
I
sci-fi
don't
story it
agree
aims
that
to
it's
tell
woke.
to fantastic effect.
I guess I'm homeward bound.
Yeah, Death Stranding 1 was a little bit different, man. That's what I said too. I said if Death Stranding 2 doesn't have rock climbing, I'm gonna be pissed. But Death
Set
Stranding
11
2,
months after the events
you can
of the
climb
original,
rocks, you can
On
climb
the Beach's
mountains,
twisting tale
like you're
begins
a
with Sam
damn
attempts
rock
to
climber.
settle into a quiet life off the grid with baby Lou. Where it goes from there, I won't
Yeah,
even
dude.
dare to
It's
spoil,
way
but I
different.
guarantee you won't see even half of its reveals coming. I can say though that
there's a
there's
lot
an
of,
ongoing
combat.
trend of viscosity throughout. Tar, sludge, oil, blood, you'll wade through it all. But it's also thick with intrigue, as the secrets continue
But yeah,
to
I
be
agree, there's
uncovered
too many
in a
rocks on the
flurry of
ground for
ideas
the
so
vehicles.
dense I struggle to point to its
I was
light
constantly hitting
elsewhere.
rocks.
The themes it tackles are multifold. Some focus on a more personal level, and others are global.
It is
The
like
latter
Metal
a
Gear, it's like
treatise on
Phantom
modern
Pain.
life and them. Having time slow down after dispatching an enemy is not only very helpful when faced with multiple threats, but adds a slick layer of style to each gunfight. No aspect of Death Stranding 2 is left untouched by its blockbuster aspirations. But as both elements and entities fight against you with more vigour this time around, you're in turn given new abilities to combat them with. Unlike the first game's relatively bare-bones character progression, now
I would say
skill
check
points
out
can be
Death Stranding
used to
2.
unlock fresh
I'd
tools
recommend
and
it.
boost your stat sheet.
I would keep it
Death
real with
Stranding
you.
2 is by no means an RPG, but it does offer greater and much appreciated variety when it comes to building out how you want your Sam to play. Want to be sneaky Sam?
'Cause I was
Invest in the
hesitant on
ability
even
to cover
getting
your
it,
tracks
but
by scrubbing out
I
your
just got it to
footprints.
stream,
Want to be
and
shooty Sam?
that's actually-
Augment his arsenal so it packs a
That's actually a
heavier
game that
punch.
really surprised
You'll
me this
ultimately
year.
be treading the same set of missions as every other player, but the ways you
ending-
can choose to
the
approach
ending, bro.
each one are far more varied this time around. These perks can also be freely plugged in and out, reminiscent of how Nier Automata's fantastic
It's
chip
just like the
system
ending of Metal Gear
functions,
Solid
and offers
4.
great flexibility, further enhancing your freedom when preparing for specific types of missions. Upgrades get unlocked in accordance with how you've been playing. For example, if you take a combat-heavy approach, you'll be rewarded with new skills like a semi-automated lock-on ability for your guns. It's a nice touch that further makes Death Stranding 2 feel like an experience that is in step with you, and another indication of its formerly rough edges being sanded down for a much
And
more
low-key, you could
enjoyable
kind of
time.
argue that Metal Gear Solid was woke. Just a little bit. Because think of all the homosexual references they had in that game.
On top of perks, there is also no shortage of gadgetry and weaponry available to Sam. Completing side missions and increasing your star ranking with each of the outposts dotted around the map
Few gay
unlocks
moments
these
in that
options
game.
at a consistently good rhythm, as well as some that open up when you complete
Undeniably
certain story
gay.
events. The tools get weird and wild too, coming at such irregularity that you'll be moving on from one shiny tool of destruction or subterfuge to the next with each mission. But it isn't just in combat that these accessories have their uses either, because no matter how much Death Stranding 2 has cranked up the action this time around, it is still fundamentally about porting cargo from one location to another across Australia. That vast expanse naturally leads to new delivery systems. Yes, turns out there really is nothing on Earth like a genuine bona fide electrified 6-car monorail. This new structure is a godsend when it comes to a handful of missions that require shipping hundreds of kilos of chemical materials over a rocky coastline, but it does require quite the combined construction job between you and the online community. That being said, I did settle on travelling on foot as little as possible quite quickly. On the beach is very kind in the way that it gives you a vehicle very early on this time around, especially when compared to the many hours it took to fire up an engine in the original. The missions themselves are incredibly Moorish, with that just one more job
Bro.
itch that I always had to scratch. There's a great sense of forward momentum which aids this sensation.
I had to get my
hugely,
real ID
with
today so I could get on this
thankfully
plane.
a rarity
I'm
in
flying
the
to
sequel.
California on the
Varied mission
23rd.
conditions also keep things fresh. These
Bro.
range from having to complete orders within a set time limit or being extra careful with fragile cargo. Again, these parameters force you to adjust how you prepare for each mission and ensure you can't just use the same
$50,
toolset and
man.
methods on
$50 to
every
get this
run.
stupid real
It's
ID.
this consistent drive along a drip feed of new equipment that makes the whole experience more rewarding. The overall structure of Death Stranding's 2 campaign is leaps and bounds above what came before, and whether it's unleashing bullets into a teleporting mech or gently navigating a river, it all feels intertwined beautifully and serves the complex sci-fi story it aims to tell to fantastic effect.
Life's a beach.
I guess I'm homeward bound.
Missing little Lou that badly?
That's right.
You know I am.
Set 11 months after the events of the original, On the Beach's twisting tale begins with Sam attempting to settle into a quiet life off the grid with baby Lou. Where it goes from there,
Baby
I won't
Lou.
even dare to spoil, but I guarantee you won't see even half of its reveals coming. I can say though that there's an ongoing trend of viscosity throughout. Tar, sludge, oil, blood, you'll wade through it all. But it's also thick with intrigue, as the secrets continue to be uncovered in a flurry of ideas so dense I struggle to point to its like elsewhere. The themes it tackles are multifold. Some focus on a more personal level and others are global. The latter is a treatise on modern life and how technology infests every part of it. It's a strong story of how increased existence in the digital world eats away at our souls as humans.
I could see
as
the
physical interactions,
I could see the
especially
world
in a
being
post-COVID
just like Death Stranding
environment,
2
became all
in
the
the
more
future.
precious. I can't help but feel that Kojima is bristling with thoughts about how art and individual expression can never be replaced by artificial intelligence, no matter how it's forced upon us. And then there's the commentary on gun culture and our world's obsession with building bigger and better weapons. These are of course themes Kojima has been writing about for decades now, all the way back to the original Metal Gear Solid in 1998, but still remain frustratingly topical and worthy of continued commentary on in a modern context.
Guns and violence, the whole damn world could be.
Yeah, I think that Death Stranding
Same
2
as
is
everyone.
modern day.
It's a
Metal
credit
Gear
to the
Solid.
storytelling that all of these concepts shine through, without getting too bogged down or obscured by the sci-fi trappings they could so easily sink into. But Death Stranding 2 doesn't only look outwards. It's as introspective as any of Kojima's work to date. Metal Gear Solid always looked at geopolitical and nuclear issues on a wide scale, and the original Death Stranding challenged our ability to connect as humans in a digital age. But On the Beach asked questions about the issues posed in that original text. It's self-analytical, but rarely gazes at its navel, delivering a knockout story that works on so many levels. The theme of connectivity fittingly weaves each disparate part together by exploring not only how we connect to each other, but with our own pasts as well, what we choose to hold on to and what we choose to let go. I don't think it's any coincidence that Neil resembles Solid Snake, a character whom Kojima has had to make peace with cutting ties with ever since his departure from Konami a decade ago. Death Stranding 2 almost feels like a funeral for his beloved bandana operative.
Dude, didn't I say the same thing? Didn't I say the same thing? What up, William? I said the same thing. I was like,
Norman
bro,
Reedus
he's
continues
killing
his
Solid
stoic
Snake.
portrayal of Sam Porter
But I
Bridges,
guess it's more like a
and
funeral
anchors
than
the
him
story
killing
with
him.
a calm, centered approach. I do find Sam a fairly impenetrable character to connect with on an emotional level though, as he again serves as a vehicle for the story rather than the personal heart of it. He is given more range to work in this time around, but his not too high, not too low performance once again allows for the supporting cast to shine. Léa Seydoux beguiles as Fragile, a
That's
layered
right.
character that the French actress elevates even further.
Oh,
Elle
I'm just
Fanning
chilling.
is fantastic as the enigmatic
Had a busy
Tomorrow,
day.
and the mysterious Red
But,
Samurai is dripping with cool.
I knew there was gonna
It's
be
the
a
kind of
game
sleek
showcase
style
today,
we've
so I
come
wanted to
expect from artist
cover this,
Shuji Shinkawa. Ever since
Sony
Cyborg
State of
Ninja
Play,
first
and I think
dashed
there's
onto
another
the
one.
screen in 1998. He's a master character designer on top of his game, and Death Stranding 2 really gives him the opportunity to cook again and again. I also have a soft spot for the aforementioned Dollman, who makes the journey a little less lonely by accompanying you at all times on your utility belt. He's effectively a version of God of War's Mimir, but instead of funny retellings of myths and legend, we're treated to high school level interpretations of the themes of Moby Dick, and occasionally telling you that you stink.
Sam, been a while since you had a proper shower, wouldn't you say?
The standout performer this time.
Oh, sorry about that, guys. Here. What happened? What the hell happened? Hold up. Oh, it started. I play on PC and console. I'm gonna go ahead and put my chat or my Twitch link in the chat right now. Yeah, it looks like it's starting right now, so I was like, what the hell happened? I play on PC and console. I got a PS5, so yep. Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy, and the fact that you had Sam fighting Neil, aka Solid Snake, it was kind of real. Like, and all the Metal Gear Solid references, like the Phantom Pain and stuff. What kind of games do I mostly play on streaming? Oh, all kind of games. Mostly Souls-like games. Metal Gear Solid. Those are the two biggest ones that I play on here. You know, like Elden Ring, Dark Souls, and like the Souls-likes, Lies of P, First Berserker. And I always mix Metal Gear Solid in there, but right now I'm playing Grand Theft Auto 4, and I'm gonna play some Grandpa High on Retro today. Yep. Hey, you guys go follow me on Twitch if you use Twitch. I'm from California. From California. Fresno, California. Come on. Come on, Sony, get it together. They're having technical difficulties with their live stream. I feel you. I feel you, Sony. No. Yeah, they're live right now. Great start. Ghost of Colors. They got hacked. Late station. Alright, I'm not the only one noticing. This, whatever you want to call it, delay. I'm still going to play Ghost of Yotei. I like Ghost of Tsushima. Even though I never beat the game, before it comes out, I'm probably going to have to play a Ghost of Tsushima just to have a playthrough on here. I don't think I've ever done one on the live stream. So, that'll be something to do in the future. I don't know when this Ghost of Yotei is coming out. We're probably going to find out today. But they're already doing pre-orders for the game if I'm not mistaken. Let's actually go look at that and see if they got some pre-orders for Ghost of Yotei right now. How long have I been streaming on YouTube in general? On YouTube? Like 5 months. 4 or 5 months. But I'm coming up on a year streaming period. So, coming up on a year this September actually, I believe. Or October. October, really. It's a little less than a year. Yep. Here, hold on. Let's check out this Ghost of Yotei. Ghost of Yotei. Oh, it's probably going to be a PlayStation exclusive. Huh. Most likely. I wouldn't doubt it. Would I like to see my work? I gotta be honest, I don't want to see anything. But you're welcome to watch the stream. But I would say keep hustling because I actually got my logo and my banner from an artist that came into my chat. So, but I already got an artist that I work with. Yeah, no problem. Take it easy. Seconds. 16, 15, 14, 10, 9, 8. Woo! I'm on time today. No Capcom. No Capcom. Alright. Shh. What do we got here? Ghost of Yotei, right? Ghost of Yotei.
Hello everyone, this is Jason Connell and Nate Fox from Sucker Punch Productions. Ghost of Tsushima was an honor to be a part of. And today, Nate and I get to share more about our next game, Ghost of Yotei. We'll be sharing how we've crafted the game around exploration while keeping Atsu's tale of vengeance front and center. We'll also talk about ghost combat and how it's evolved. And we'll introduce for the first time some new special modes of play.
Sick.
But let's start things off first by talking about a Japanese folk legend, the Onryo.
The Onryo. It's a demon, right? That's what they called that girl from Blue Eyed Samurai.
The people of Ezo believe Atsu is an Onryo, a wrathful ghost bent on revenge. And they're half right. Atsu doesn't care if she lives or dies, so long as she can punish the Yotei Six, a ruthless gang who slaughtered her family. After 16 years in the South, she's returned home to put their spirits to rest. It's warm memories of her family that propel her forward. When Atsu returns to her childhood home, with the push of a button, you can experience those cherished times. By giving you the freedom to explore Atsu's past, the wound of her loss becomes personal. It's that pain that pushes her forward. Hunting down the Yotei Six is a near impossible task. She'll face 1,000 blades. But the Onryo is relentless, and with each victory, the ghost story around her grows.
Ghost of Yotei focuses on player freedom more than any game Sucker Punch has ever made. But it's also a game that at its heart is inspired by so many of our favorite wandering samurai films. So let's start off by talking. We all have different playstyles. Japan.
Wait, what?
We all have different playstyles, so we set out to make an open world game that lets you drive your own experiences. Whether that's your curiosity to wonder, your thirst for combat, or a deep desire to stay focused on the story. As you explore, there's an underlying clue system that invites you to new adventures in new areas of the game that could be appealing to you. If you interrogate an enemy, choosing to ask about the Oni, you could uncover a landscape scarred by fire with more bold, samurai-like enemies to fight and abilities for Atsu to learn. Or, if you ask about the Kitsune, might lead you to an area filled with snow and deception, enemies that ambush you, and new ninja-like tactics to study.
We got a snow area, dude, my favorite.
Atsu draws cards for each clue to keep track of all available adventures. The more you play, the more the game unfolds for you.
Oh, that's sick.
As she makes progress against the Yotei 6, her legend as the Onryo grows.
It's her.
Bounty will go up, drawing the attention of deadlier foes.
Are you lost?
I'm looking for some old friends. The Yotei 6.
Show her the door.
There is a hefty price on Atsu's head. Now, Atsu can also hunt down her own bounties that bring her all around the land. This is a lucrative way to make some money to fuel her vengeance quest.
Oh, you can make money now from doing stuff. That's cool. Instead of just finding it, finding supplies and shit. Because you're an actual samurai in Ghost of Tsushima. So now you're not. Now you're like some chick, I guess, who's going out for revenge. Oh, you're a bounty hunter, basically. That's sick. Okay. That's tight. Oh, you don't have to climb down.
Hidden in the world are altars of reflection. Finding one inspires Atsu and unlocks a new ability to help her on the journey ahead. They are fun to find on their own, but for a quicker route, you can always buy a traveler's map from the cartographer. Ghost of Yotei isn't going to rush you through anything. You can choose what motivates you most. But we think the best way to play is to simply pull out your spyglass, find something interesting on the horizon, and enjoy the ride.
Let's ride.
The lands around Yotei are vast. It's not about checking it all off, it's about engaging in the content that gets you excited. Embrace that curiosity and let the wind guide you on your hunt.
Ezo is a dangerous place. Atsu always wields a weapon.
I think it's pretty
As
sick.
for which, that's up to you. Will you choose a katana, spear,
Whoa!
a surigama,
Whoa!
odachi?
You get
or
other
dual
weapons now.
swords?
You get the dual
Each
swords?
is uniquely effective against a particular enemy and has their own set of upgrades to discover and master.
Bro, there's dismemberment.
Plant psycho damage.
Wait, was it dismemberment on Ghost of Tsushima? I don't remember if you could cut
Let's
heads
see
off
how
or
she
arms
uses
off.
these weapons in the field, searching for leads on Lord Saito.
That's pretty sick.
From our soil. The soldiers needed more to free you.
Free us? Inokichi steals our crops while our families starve.
Atsu's no samurai or ninja. No, she's a lone wolf mercenary who'll use every advantage, every dirty trick to win a fight.
Oh, so you can use multiple weapons. You don't have to pick one. That's tight.
Combat has the feel of a classic samurai movie. Every motion counts. It's about lethal precision.
Oh, that's sick. Bro. That's actually pretty
If an enemy
dope.
swings hard, Atsu can lose her weapon. But if she's quick, she can disarm them.
Wait, so you could drop your weapon? If they hit you too hard?
Choose the right weapon for the job.
Just picked her
Fight
ass
a
up.
massive enemy, her huge Odachi blade is best.
Yeah, the Odachi, bro. I love the Odachi. What up, Bright Angel? See how she had to, like, she did it, like, just like they do it in real life, bro. You could decapitate on the first, and you had ghost weapons, but not main ones.
He
Swap
looks like
other
the
than
one
the
in
bow.
charge.
Tonight, we feast!
Bro. Let's go. Oh my god, that looks tight.
Blades are great, but ranged weapons work too. And Atsu's got an arsenal.
You got guns! You got guns now, bro! Yes!
Bounty hunter! A ghost!
Thrown weapons like kunai, bombs, or even blinding powder can give Atsu an edge.
Oh, that's
When
sick.
enemies switch weapons, you'll have to adapt. Dual swords are best against spears.
Yeah, you had to like switch your stances in the first one, I remember. What's up, Bright Angel? How you doing?
No more!
I downloaded Ghost of Tsushima to replay, and
Tell
yes,
me what you
I'm
know
me
about
bussing folks.
Saito.
Fuck yeah.
Atsu doesn't always fight alone. She'll meet several allies on her hunt, including a mysterious wolf.
Yeah. That's pretty dope, actually. I'd rather have more weapons than stances. Even though stances are cool too, because like of
Atsu can set
in
up
Neo.
camp under the stars of Ezo. But she's not always alone.
This game looks beautiful.
Hey, friend. Share your fire with the traveling peddler?
What are you selling?
A mask said to be cursed with the unpredictable nature of its previous owner.
Camping under the stars is a great way to rest up, play your shamisen, or cook to ready for a fight ahead.
Yo, Bright Andrew, you gotta check out
It's
this
also designed to help
this
bring
game I'm gonna
important
play.
characters and upgrades straight to you. In fact, in place of the journal menu from Ghost of Tsushima, we've
can't open
opted
your
for a
door
more
anymore? What the
character-driven
fuck?
way of managing
That's all
allies
bad.
and vendors you meet in Ezo.
Well, I
Over
hope they
time,
come fix it.
Atsu grows to have her own wolf pack. And here, you can keep track of when a sensei might have a weapon skill for you, or when a vendor has something unique to sell. Managing upgrades, resources, when to buy what, can be a burden in a big open-world game. At campsites, members of your wolf pack can catch up with you, offering upgrades and unique items. This helps ensure you have every opportunity to upgrade and prepare for Atsu's vengeance quest ahead. You don't have to leave where you're exploring, the game comes to you.
Nice.
While exploring Ezo, you'll discover all sorts of new armor, charms,
It's
and
called
gear.
Grandpa High on
Perfect
Retro.
for building up Atsu around your chosen playstyle.
It's basically an old man who smokes weed and
Are you stealth,
he's trying to get laid.
ranged, or melee focused?
It's funny.
Find and combine the pieces that are just right for you.
We're gonna check it out.
And of course, customize the look of your armor and weapons to make sure that your version of Atsu looks and fights just the way you want.
Yeah, those are pretty dope. Oh, I like that one. That's pretty sick. Music.
The score of Ghost of Yotei is incredibly special to us.
Hey.
Our amazing composer, Toma Otoa, has created a mashup of Eastern instrumentation with Western flavors, brought to life through an exciting collaboration of many talented artists.
でこうダウンビートまで
If If you like what you heard, we're releasing 2 tracks featured in today's State of Play on your favorite streaming service immediately after the show.
Sick. I want some Japanese music. Alright, we got some special modes, probably the old school samurai shit. We got photo mode.
The digital photography community for Ghost of Tsushima is incredible.
Okay, so I'm going to be able to make thumbnails with this photo mode, hopefully.
We're happy to have photo mode back in Ghost of Yotei and look forward to seeing photos from your journey across Ezo.
Yeah, it looks pretty sick. That's awesome.
We want playing through Ghost of Yotei to feel like stepping inside of your favorite classic samurai films. So, from the beginning of the game, we're happy to offer a full Japanese voice track with full lip sync that you can play with subtitles.
That's pretty dope. They had that in the first one though, right? You could change the voice acting and they changed the lips and everything too.
一人残らず息の根止めたと思った。また会えたな。刀鍛冶の娘。
覚えておけ。圧だ。 To take the feeling of stepping into a classic samurai cinema experience one step further, we are honored to once again partner with acclaimed director Akira Kurosawa's estate for Kurosawa Mode, which emulates his classic black and white films.
Oh yeah, I have some of those movies, those samurai movies, the black and white ones. Slowkey makes me want to watch one of them.
For Ghosts of Yotei, we wanted to celebrate 2 other influential directors who have had an impact on the genre as a whole. First, we've partnered with Takeshi Miike, director of 13 Assassins, for a mode that puts the camera closer during combat for a more intense, raw experience along with increased mud and blood splatter.
Oh, that's tight.
And lastly, we've partnered with the director of Samurai Champloo, Shinichiro Watanabe. Turn this mode on to listen to some original lo-fi tracks directed by Watanabe himself.
Oh, that's tight. Hey. Samurai Champloo. I like that show. When does this come out, bro?
There's so many ways to make your Ghost of Yotei playthrough your own. But no matter how you play, here's one way to experience Ghost of Yotei that is sure to be special.
A few months on. Yeah. Oh, nice. Of course. But that means you gotta go buy the whole PS5. Can't you just buy the covers for your PS5? God damn.
Today, you've got a glimpse into Atsu's hunt for the
Like,
Yotei
are there really
6.
people out there buying the PlayStation 5? Like
Forge
just to
your
get
own
that one?
path while
If they already have
discovering
one?
the
Like,
secrets of
come
Ezo.
on, man. How many of those are they selling?
To survive, you'll need to master a variety of weapons, using lethal precision to
Yeah, you need
overcome
one.
the odds and take revenge as the Onryo.
Need to hurry up before that PS6 comes
Ghost
out.
of Yotei comes out on October 2nd. Thank you so much for watching.
Not anymore, man. They got hella PS5s now. I remember when you couldn't even get one though. I remember they were selling them for like 900 bucks because they were like so sparse, so rare. If you found a PS5 in store, you were like lucky. It's crazy.
Beyond and hello and welcome to a very special live edition of IGN's weekly
that's the guy
PlayStation
who
show.
did the,
I'm your host Max
Dust Bloods
Scoville, and we just got
review.
a big, huge, proper glimpse at Ghost of Yotei, which is definitely shaping up to be one of, if not the biggest PlayStation 5 game of the year. Here to help me unpack everything we just saw, my good pals Brian Altano and Jada Griffin. What is up, guys?
Beyond.
What is up? Beyond, everybody. What a showcase.
All right, let's see
There
what they
it
got
is.
to
There's
say.
that big, first party PS5 exclusive that I've been waiting for, right? This is not a cross-gen game. This is not a remaster. This is a brand new Ghost game.
It's not a live service game.
It's not a live service game. It's not a,
Not
game
a
that
live
comes out and
service
gets
game.
canceled a week later. It is the real single-player game. It's brand new. It's
Nice.
PS5 exclusive, and it's one.
I
of the
knew it
best
was going to be a
games
PS5
I've
exclusive.
ever
That's
seen.
all right,
It's
though.
just stunning. I can't wait.
This presentation
Good thing
showed
I got
so
a
many cool
PS5.
things. I don't even know where I want to start talking about this. Max, I know you're the host, so tell us where are we starting? Where are we breaking this down from the start?
I just want to know what jumped out at you the most. Like, what was the thing that just made you sit up in your seat? Brian, I know you devoured that first game, so you also just completely, I think you both chewed up and
this
spat
game looks
out
fun.
Assassin's Creed Shadows, and in the good way.
Yeah.
What stuck out to you as like, oh, this is new, this is exciting, this is not Ghost of Tsushima, this is not Assassin's Creed Shadows, this is Yotei?
So the main thing for me, and one of my biggest gripes with Shadows, was the way it split abilities between two characters and how switching between those characters was a little bit cumbersome. I think Jada agrees with that. We've talked about this at length. And it feels like the protagonist in Yotei is able to do a lot of the stuff that both Yasuke and Naoe were
Real
able
talk,
to do
you're not
in
like some.
Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Even though you're a
without
female,
switching, right?
it doesn't look like she's
I
like
love
weak.
playing Assassin's Creed games up close, brutal, up close and personal, big swords in your face. But I love also backing up and blasting fire arrows at you. And you didn't really have that ability in Shadows unless you we're constantly kind of switching between characters. Whereas here, it feels like I'm going to have that ability to be able to stay back far, use projectiles, use arrows and stuff like that, and then get up close and gritty and just slice.
You did
people's
pick her
heads
up, though,
off.
right
that's-
there.
I like the idea of having all of that compacted into one protagonist.
But in Shadows,
If I
man,
had to I think the
you get
standout
picked up and thrown
is
around like
the
a
weapon
rag doll
choices,
because you're a
yes, we have a
female.
lot of those weapon choices in Shadows, and there's some returning ones, obviously from Tsushima. But I really like the sound of wielding an Odachi and just going to town with giant weapons and the disarming of people by chopping off arms.
That's
is
dope.
always a fun thing for me
Yeah,
to do in
that's
games.
dope.
I think that's
Mhm.
one of the things that stood out most for me, as well as like the added modes at the end. We had a feeling that Kurosawa mode was going to be coming back. We were hoping, but we've got the Samurai Champloo Lo-Fi mode, which is going to
11
be fire.
ads.
And
Oh,
then,
that's
what
Twitch
was
for
the
you.
other one?
Takashi Miike.
If you don't want
they've
ads,
got,
you gotta
in addition
subscribe.
to Kurosawa mode, there's now Watanabe mode, which is Shinichiro Watanabe, who did the Samurai Champloo and also Cowboy Bebop. So it's just kind of lo-fi hip hop beats in the background as you wander around, do your thing. And then there's Takashi Miike mode, which is more blood, more mud, and closer camera angles when you're in combat. Which
And they've been having some
I
problems
love
with
that
their stream today, huh?
They're both shaking things up, but almost in like different ways. Like one is visual, one is audio. That's very cool. I'm personally really excited
Yeah.
about the music.
If they just
I
went
don't-
all
I don't know
adrenaline
why-
rush
like, I don't
and
mean
just
to
kept
throw shade,
fighting.
but like I remember when they first showed off Tsushima back when we still had E3, and that dude came out and played the flute a bunch. I don't know. I'm not wild about the woodwind stuff, but I love shamisen banjo music, the old school. It gave me kind of. I'm a big fan of Gaino Yamashiragumi, who did the Akira soundtrack, and it's just a lot of like that, just kind of wonderful twangy, like when it starts ramping up. Like I'm stoked for that. And like again, this is I hate to keep comparing this to Assassin's Creed Shadows, but that's very fresh in our memories. That's one of the best selling games of the year. A lot of people played it. It cast a pretty big shadow, and this is obviously going to.
I wouldn't compare this to Assassin's Creed Shadows. I'm just gonna keep it real right now. I think this is way better already looking. Assassin's Creed Shadows look like shit.
Have to really do something to stand out, to set itself apart. But like just the way they're putting the kind of music and the different modes front and center is really promising. One thing I think is really cool is your camping mode, and I'm curious to see how this actually comes into play. But they really kind of emphasize that they want to just have you in the game. You know, they seem to really want to be like, they don't want to make it about doing chores or backtracking. And so like you'll set up camp for the night, and instead of having to go and like find a dude to do your upgrades, that guy will like come to your camp and be like, hey, I got a cool new thing for you. That's what that was, right? That's how they explained it?
Yeah, basically it sounded like you're kind of building up what they called your wolf pack, and over time as your pack grows,
Your wolf pack.
random people will stop by your camp and offer
Yeah,
things
no
to
way.
trade
Assassin's Creed Shadows didn't even look
I
that
imagine
good, bro.
conversation
It didn't
and
look
story beats
terrible.
for
It just
them,
didn't
which
look
will
that
probably
good.
turn into more quest lines for them. I'm really
What I
excited
did like
for this.
about
I really
Assassin's
like
Creed
how you
Shadows
can
was
kind of look
the
at all the
ability
different
to go
characters
prone.
and be like, oh,
That
that's
was
exactly
sick.
where this person is on the map.
I
You don't
really
remember where these 12 NPCs or however
I
many
really
there
love the HUD, like the different, not just the HUD, but the UI they showed off, like the fact that there's there's the card system for, you know, finding clues, finding new side quests and stuff. Again, it's like it's kind of hard to get a feel exactly how it's going to play out until I'm actually doing it myself, but it certainly looks novel. And then there's the thing you're referring to, Jada, where it's the whole lineup of all the different characters. And I don't know, I'm just like so tired of, you know, you open up a menu and you know, it's like a list or it's a thing you tab through, and like maybe you have like a new email notification somewhere along there. But the idea of like jumping between this, you know,
So it kind of looks like the first one, this menu. Unless this is no, it's the Odachi. You didn't have an Odachi in the first one. You just had your regular katana, and then I think you got another one later. But this looks sick.
this class photo of different characters, kind of a cool approach there. Yeah, I mean they kept pushing the kind of the fact that they want to let people figure out how they want to play the game, and also they want to keep them in that world. You know, like it seems like there's a big emphasis on not breaking the immersion by making it about, you know, popping into your inventory screen and juggling that. Like there's obviously going to be some of that, but like again, they had in the same way that you know, you'd follow the wind in Tsushima, and this time you can run along with flower trails, and it'll give your horse a boost, and you can, you know, go off in any direction. And like, I don't know, it's, you would think that open world game design would have been kind of figured out by now, but again, people kind of trip over themselves here and there, making big, huge worlds to explore and forgetting the fact that the appeal of these things in the first place is giving players the freedom and choice to approach them however you want. And it seems like,
real talk,
I don't know, seems like they know what they're doing over there.
Hey, this guy doesn't sound like an idiot. This guy actually sounds kind of smart. I'm gonna keep it real. This guy actually sounds kind of like he knows what he's talking about.
Feeling they'll probably put in stuff for people who just want a checklist, right?
Yeah, the menu looks really similar.
There's, you know, no shade to them, but like that's, I think at the end of the day, like I've played pretty much every open world game every big open world game ever at this point, right? And they all basically go in with these great ambitions of like, we have this, you know, bold new way to blah 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 to keep you from fast traveling, and you experiment with it for the first few hours, and then, you know, 5-10 hours in, you're like, all right, just get me to my mission, get me to my thing. So I think all that stuff will be fun in theory, and in practice it remains to be
I
seen.
just think open world games are played out sometimes, man. Like,
hours, right? But
it's like, why do I want to fucking run around? Like, it's kind of like Grand Theft Auto. It's like the map being big sounds cool, but dude, sometimes I just don't want to drive for fucking 15 minutes to get to one point of interest.
I think at the very least, what I'm looking forward to here.
That's why I get in the taxi on Grand Theft Auto 4.
You brought it up. Like, it's pretty much impossible to not talk about Assassin's Creed Shadows. Like that game was awesome. It's also still really popular and selling really well. I think there was a very different conversation before that game came out, where people were like, "Oh, this is make it or break it for Ubisoft." It remains to be seen if that's still the case. But it was a really good game, right? Like it's really awesome, and I rolled credits on it. I loved it. I'm seeing this today makes me want to go back and play it some more. There's a lot in that game that, like, I think people wanted. That, you know, they wanted out of Ghost of Tsushima, and there's a lot that people wanted out of the Assassin's Creed franchise in general, and they kind of nailed both of those things. And so it took the wind out of the sails of this game for me a little bit, but also by the time October comes around, I will, you know, I'll be ready for more probably. It would be very sneaky if Ubisoft was like, "Hey, by the way, we're launching DLC in late September or whatever." You know,
that'd be
get
fucked.
People back in one more time. But I will say one thing
I don't think so. I don't think people will go back in one more time. Maybe
traversal.
Maybe
outside of,
die-hard
parkour
Assassin's
stuff,
Creed
which was
fans.
amazing.
they sort of by design made a bunch of really dense forests and hills that were hard to climb up. And yeah, there was just a lot of like sliding and getting stuck behind trees and jammed in logs and stuff like that. And I'm hoping that's something that like
See, that's what I'm saying, King of Hearts. I think that the next From Software game, if they're gonna do another open world game, they need to have some NPCs out in the world, and they need to have like people walking around that aren't enemies. Like, I know that that's not what their games are about, but I think that if they're gonna do another open world game, it would have more replayability to have like people out in the world, and the NPC quests actually having like just more explained. Like, I feel like they're too vague. You know, when you're playing Elden Ring and you do a quest, it's hard to find the NPC, and once you get the quest started, you're like, you'd have to look up a guide most of the time to even figure out what the fuck to do.
You know,
what's up, TT?
That's
Welcome
not
back.
something I'll have to worry about in Yotei. It seems like I'll be able to get around easily. And they're doing the traditional. Everybody's got a grappling hook and everybody slides now. I'm sure we'll get to shimmy through some tight crevices,
climb up some mountains.
Yeah, climb up some mountains and stuff like that. We get to do all of that. But
hey, the platforming in Ghost of Tsushima
Yotei
is sick too.
Is the sequel to, I think, one of the most special video games ever made, and so like I have no doubt that they're going to go in with their own brushstrokes here. No pun intended. I think this is going to stand on its own, and so I'll gladly play both. It's crazy that they both came out within 6 months of each other or whatever it is, but
It'll be 8 by that point.
It'll be 8 by that point. Yeah, but
followers only mode.
There's room for both. Like I think that there's something about the art direction in this game that's just really special.
I think you got to follow me to chat.
I can't wait for it.
The one thing, last thing I'll say about Shadows, and then let's focus on Yotei, but you don't
have to follow me to watch
gorgeous vistas. Like the climbing synchronization points were gorgeous. There's just some gorgeous looks, and that's something we're definitely going to get here. We saw that throughout the trailer. There's just so many gorgeous looking scenery in Yotei. Just from this little bit we got, her running across the different the forest. There's also the horse riding and such. We're gonna get some really gorgeous, like just drop dead gorgeous looks in this game, and I'm very excited for that. There's still, I can't think of a better opening than what we got with Tsushima, with the riding through the fields as the credits.
Oh, you still get the hot spring.
Like, that is cinema.
You get to see a naked chick in a hot spring, dude.
That is cinema.
That's pretty cool.
And so I'm very excited to see how that evolves, and if Yotei takes that away from Tsushima, like if it one-ups it, like I really hope it does. But I'd be happy with it.
I feel you. I feel you, King of Hearts.
Like, the scenery's gonna
bro.
look gorgeous in this game because the wizards over at Sucker Punch, they know what they're doing when crafting these areas for us to explore and just have fun in.
Well, the thing that's really cool is that it's, this is a PlayStation game. This is a PlayStation exclusive. It's, presumably going to stay that way until they eventually put it on PC, probably. But
eventually
they've been focusing on making this run
on a Steam
effectively
right
one
now.
machine and taking as much advantage of that as they can. We got a glimpse very early on of the sort of flashback sequences where you're in her like family home, and you can immediately toggle back to when she was a child, which immediately reminded me of the portals in Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, where it was just like, oh, this thing is running two parallel dimensions basically. And I'm not sure how much that's actually going to, I think that seems like the kind of thing where it'll be sort of like a side mission.
You know what other game they did that on? Lords of the Fallen with the Umbra Realm.
Or like a mission flavor or whatever, where like you go to certain areas and you do this, and it's really adding context to the story. But we got a similar thing, and we've got a similar things in plenty of games, but it's usually just like sort of it feels like going to a different level or something. Like it doesn't feel like you're actually, it's like a cutscene, or it's a the camera fogs up and then you're in like a little mini side mission, what have you. And I don't know, that just seems like a cool way of interacting with the world a little bit.
Yeah, I was wondering about that one, because I don't think it'll be like the whole game has a flashback button or whatever, but it seems like a fun place to experiment.
They just disarmed
again,
her.
Like it's something Shadows did too, which is funny.
They do knock your weapon out your hand.
Not the button, but
yeah, I imagine they're gonna have like key locations, and like a prompt will pop up to push the touchpad to revisit the past or something.
I feel like it's definitely a more appealing alternative to doing a small meditation rhythm game. To
get him
again, that's the conversation that's going to be happening at the end of this year. Is who did what better. Like there's going to be plenty to talk about in that department. I really like the shots of I'm pretty sure that's what's happening, but inspecting your sword up close.
Yeah, I like how
we get
she
a
put
shot
the
of,
Odachi in, like how she
she's,
like
holding the
lifted
sword,
her,
and
because it's hard
there's
to,
another shot of you can
put
cook,
that back in
you
the
can cook
scabbard.
fish on the fire, and it's like these little glimpses of a first-person perspective. It's kind of a neat way to, add to the immersion without fully committing to doing anything in first person, which I feel like would be possibly nauseating in this game. But yeah,
I liked what they were saying about combat being just sort of grittier this time. Like she's not a samurai. This is not like really like a balanced, like professionally trained. Like this is a like just a savage fighter on a revenge trip, and that sounds really fun to me. Like
there's no rules on the road to revenge.
Yeah, exactly. I love that's the way I play like third person games anyway, right? Like I'm not really parrying, and I'm not really like, I like Jada, you're one of those people that gets like you can nail like combos and parries perfect and all that, and I'm just like I will run up on you and just slash you to pieces as hard as I can. And that's so I want to play like that. I want to play gritty and grimy and just go to town. I was saying to you all before, like I really wish when they were naming the directors that inspired new modes, they had gone with a RZA mode, because I want like Wu-Tang sound effects, and I want like hard
RZA would
New
be
York
sick. I like the
90s
RZA
beats, and
sound.
I want that
Soundtracks
I want,
on these games.
That I want Ghost Dog basically.
They gotta save something for the third one if they do that.
Yeah,
PlayStation
I will say
7 or whatever.
We've been talking all year about like, oh, are you going to get a PS5 Pro for GTA 6?
Yeah,
Well,
RZA
it got
from
delayed to
Wu-Tang.
next year, blah,
You
blah,
know how
blah,
he
blah.
does a lot of animes?
I want to get a PS5
I think
Pro
he
for
did
this.
Afro
Like, this
Samurai.
is the first game where I'm like, oh, that's what I need it for. Because like I'm fine with playing.
He does a lot of game
third-party
soundtracks.
games, or PS5 games that came out of the last few years, and getting a decent boost on them and stuff like that. But like this is a brand new, this generation exclusive
October
game
2nd.
coming exclusively to PlayStation.
My birthday's
platforms for
October
now,
23rd.
Right? Like Max said, it'll come to PC eventually. But like I want to play this as in the best way possible. And so I'm kind of irked that I bought a PS5 at launch, because I can't get those faceplates and put them on. So like, what are we doing here?
Those are probably plates for the Slim and the Pro, most likely.
Yep. That's our treat for being early adopters.
Oh, you can get the plates.
I have to hope that, because it says bundles and accessories. I have to hope that some of the stuff is going to be sold separately, as well as sold like for all models, we hope. I imagine some of them will probably be in lower quantities, but
I hate they always do these collector's editions for the base model. It's like I would consider upgrading, but I feel like they're not going to do that until the PS5
36 Chambers of Death
6 is approaching.
Yeah, that reminds me of
Pro
Flatbush
is
Zombies.
trying to, like,
Flatbush
get through
Zombies did the
inventory or
36 chambers.
Yeah. Can we talk about the wolf? The wolf looks cool.
Yeah. The wolf looks
that's all I have to say. It looks
No
like
notes
it's
for me.
I want to make the
dope,
wolf
y'all.
go bite people. I think that's going to be fun.
I'm a fan of the wolf.
I'm interested how that's going to come into play. Like, we've seen. I love that we're just like, let's compare this to Ubisoft games. I'm like, we've gotten how many Far Cry games where you just you can send your critters to go do stuff for you. I'm wondering if it's going to be as robust as that, or if it's just going to be sort of having an NPC companion who does synchronized biting with you. But
what's up, Mackenzie?
I'm into
you're
it.
entitled to your opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it would be really cool if.
I won't argue with you.
Talking about another Ubisoft game, old school Splinter Cell games, where you could like mark targets and have like synchronized takedowns.
See, now she's talking about
people.
Splinter Cell. Now that's a
Could
game
be
that should
really
come
cool
back.
Aspect to market, and then your little wolf buddy goes and just takes them down at the same time as you. That would be a lot of fun. It'll be very interesting to see how this works AI wise, and how smart the wolf is.
I thought Sekiro was
Does
better
the
than Ghost
smart-
of
does the wolf
Tsushima,
get,
but
like better over time. Like, does it
They're
fall?
both
Does it
good.
like actually learn your kind of style and do things that you would normally do, or is it kind of set in stone? Can you give different behaviors to where it's like more on protection or more offensive, to where it is just going ham on anything that it just aggro on anything nearby, or if does it can you set it to like defensive mode?
I mean,
It'll be real interesting to see how this kind of works out.
A smart
it's a
wolf
state of
wouldn't
play.
be anywhere near what's going on in this game.
It's
It would-
IGN,
why
though.
Why would
It's
it
on
jump
IGN.
headfirst into a sword fight? Like that looks like it's going to get decapitated.
After
Whatever
this,
the
I think there's
dog
another
word
one.
is for that.
And then I'm going to play some Grandpa High on Retro.
Dog-capitated.
This
dog
looks like a good time. I feel like there's plenty of stuff they're not showing us. Again, I'm like, I was already sold on the game. I want to play the game very badly. I'm kind of almost like
State of
hesitant to
Play
even
just
look at
ended
this
though,
too
and I
closely
think they're
'cause I
just
want to be
talking about it
surprised,
now.
But this definitely whet my appetite a bit. How are you both feeling, Jada?
I'm liking the looks of it. I definitely want to see a little bit more of the stealth gameplay because I feel like we didn't get a whole lot in this trailer, but that also makes sense. This is the first like real gameplay trailer. They want to show off the action, and stealth is cool, but it's slower, and I feel like they were trying to stay for the most part like faster paced with this showcase until they got to the lo-fi beats at the end. That would have been cool to show the stealth gameplay to the lo-fi beats and just Samurai Champloo just music going and just assassinating.
Yeah, they
like
were just
4 or
showing
5
off some of
people
the
in a row.
modes.
That would have been cool.
Some of the new
But hey,
combat.
notes for next time. But yeah, I think this will be really cool. I really like the idea of just swapping weapons as opposed to the stances. And we still don't know if the stances are gone because that was kind of the main thing in Tsushima, was swapping stances for different attack patterns.
Mm-hmm.
That could still be here. They could have just remapped some stuff around in place of changing weapons, but
well, they could come up with a new story. That's for sure.
I'm very excited for this.
I mean,
it
seems like that's the weapons are kind of replacing that because
Yeah.
you know Atsu's kind of
They'd have to come up with a new story, or they'd have to remake one of the
she's
old
not
ones.
a samurai turned.
I'd like to
ghost,
see Double
which
Agent.
is, I appreciate
Again,
that. You
Double
know,
Agent
it's
was my favorite.
a novel approach. I like that you're just swapping weapons on the fly. I couldn't get a sense if
And
can you
Chaos
swap
Theory.
from all of them? Did they have like a little?
I imagine you'll probably be able to equip 3 or 4 of the weapon types because I think they mentioned 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine it'll probably be
Those
like a
games are only
D-pad
89 cents
swap,
right now on
kinda like
Steam.
with your ninja tools when you could swap between smoke bombs and other gadgets and stuff you had in the first one.
Or I think that's Hitman.
Cool.
I got Hitman
I'm sold
World of
that she just took
Assassination
the
too.
Odachi and did the
For
thing
$2
where you shake the blood off it. Like that's
Mhm.
Yeah,
gotta love
that's
that.
awesome.
That's a good time.
No, I was always going to play this game day one,
Yep.
and I was actually a little hesitant to even do my job at work today and watch this because I was like, I'm sold. I don't need to see anything, and I'm happy to say that like I'm even more sold now. And also for a gameplay deep dive, this was fairly light on spoilery stuff. Like I didn't feel like there was anything that I'm like, oh man, you ruined the surprise there, and more that I was like, hey, you taught me a bunch about a thing that I was already excited for, so thank you for that. So yeah, this is, I mean, like I said before, this is the big PlayStation game this year for me. This is the big PlayStation game this generation for me until, you know, in Intergalactic and, you know, whatever else we don't know about yet. Like it's frankly been pretty light on big new
We got a
PS5
boar mask.
generation exclusive
We
games.
got fool's got like a boar
and,
mask.
For
This
me
is weird.
specifically, who loves playing like story driven or open world single player action games and stuff like that. I don't really get into all the games as a service stuff and the run around in circles on the same multiplayer maps, whatever Concord was trying to do, or like I don't even care about Helldivers really. Like good for the people who play those. This is my shit. You know, this is my jam right here. So like, bring it on. I'm so excited that
this
this
is
is
my
out this
shit.
year. It like the more they show of it, the more it seems like they're confident that this is not going to get delayed. And this is going to be one of the biggest games this fall. For me specifically, I don't really care about anybody else.
You know what's
But
cool?
I can't wait.
You know what's great is they announced this game.
Hold up, guys. All right, I'm back.
Like last
Sorry about
December,
that.
I think. Yeah, and now it's coming out in less than 3 months. I like that, and we don't know that. Like we've seen 20 minutes of it. That's cool. I like that. I appreciate that. That shows us an incredible amount of restraint, and yeah, I don't know. It's
not a remaster of a PS4 game, which is cool.
That's a thrill.
Or a PS3 game.
Or a PS3 game, yeah.
One thing I just picked up on, that scene that they showed when both Atsu and the wolf strike the two enemies at the same time. That's one of those like random encounters where you can kind of like agree to that starter duel at the start, and if you like hit the button at the right time to counter, like you get that.
If you can make
instant
different
kill.
scenes like
And
that,
that's
like
what
4
that
different
is
scenes
there.
at once,
so
that'd be
that's really
sick.
cool that they include your wolf to be able to take out 2 people, because I believe, if I remember correctly, it's been a while since I played through the core game of Tsushima, but I think you could upgrade it later where you could take out 2 people or more once you got it upgraded. So it's cool that they've implemented that in a unique way to Yotei.
Now with dogs. Was there anything else about this you want to talk about, or are we ready to move on?
No, I'm interested to see what they do in terms of special editions and stuff like that. We know about the consoles and accessories, but I do wonder if they'll do like a statue or like some.
They did. They've already shown that.
Oh, they showed that already. Okay, cool.
It comes with like the mask and a bunch
it comes
of
with the
other
mask.
doodads. And
Sweet.
Such. So.
Yeah,
Cool.
I mean, if
That's
you're watching me from home, you could tell I enjoy collectibles and filling my room with garbage. So, yeah, bring that on too.
Yeah, I guess the only thing is, I'm happy we're getting the, Japanese language right off the bat. And then my big question is, are we going to get Legends mode back? Because I've been jumping back into Legends mode lately for Tsushima just to refine my skills before this one drops in October. Plus, it's our game club game of the month game that we're all playing. And, I would really like to see Legends make a return.
I like that they're just like, we have prepared a big, huge, succulent Thanksgiving dinner, and you're like, yeah, but what are your 4th of July barbecue plans?
Where is dessert? I want my dessert.
I'm sure that there will be plenty to talk about down the road.
Yes.
But yeah, right now, moving on, before we get to that, just want to shout out what's going on over at IGN's sister site, Humble. Now is a great time to score some incredible games through Humble. You can, live through August 5th, you can grab Warhammer 40k, Rogue Trader, Daemon X Machina,
I
Death's
think
Door,
they have another,
Cat Quest 3, and more. And every purchase supports a good cause. And this month, your Humble Choice membership supports Covenant House. You get a curated mix of PC games every month, all for just $14.99 a month. Whether you're building your backlog or discovering something new, it is the perfect time to pick up these fan favorites. So head to humble.com and check those out. Okay.
Play Death's Door, by the way. That game is awesome.
That game rules.
Also, I really like the Cat Quest games, and I'm not a cat person at all, but they're just really fun action RPGs.
They're cute, yeah. So we do have some other big Ghost of Yotei news, sort of. This is maybe the weirdest way anything has leaked, but somebody spied on Sucker Punch by peeping through their window and filming them with like a long-range camera, like a pervert. And it's definitely amusing, but it's also deeply unsettling. And it's kind of nice that like it popped up on, I think it was Gaming Leaks and Rumors, or somebody put it on Twitter, and it was just immediately everyone was like, get this out of here, put this guy in jail, this is awful, why would you do that, don't do that. It's one thing when something sort of leaks organically, or a release date shows up on a website or whatever, or somebody leaves a flash drive on the bus, but like just creeping around with like a long, like a telephoto lens and spying through windows is just absurd. So
was it like
we got Toronto's game week tomorrow?
Yes, like the Sucker Punch HQ, like their main offices.
I thought we were going to get another one today.
Okay, now don't give out the address. No, sounded like you were like, oh, it's a.
No, I have it here up on Google Maps. Let's see. Oh, no,
don't do that.
I thought we had another one today.
Not justifying this at all, but like, don't do this ever. But especially don't do this for a game where it's just like, what are you even really going to see? It's not like you're zooming in on the next Smash Brothers game and you're going to tell the world that, like, you can unlock a Bobo from Double Dragon or something like that. Like, you're not bringing any new information. You're going to be like, guys, I zoomed in. You know what I saw? They got mountains in this game. They got sword fights.
Also, to do that like 2 days before,
I swear there was
they just
another
show
one
20
today.
minutes of the game, and they're like, check out.
Oh yeah,
what
the
we're
Resident
working
Evil
on.
showcase.
Like, I don't know. I feel like if you're spying through an office window at this game, with all due respect to
we got a Resident Evil
the new game,
showcase.
I feel like it's just going to look like the old game if you're looking at it through a window from far away. That's just a weird way to go about it. So don't.
Yeah, that's just it's like the DoorDash guy is bringing food to your house, and you get in his car.
What do you got in here? It smells good.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's on the way to your house.
2022.
That's very strange. Now we do have some actual news. Earlier this week, Naughty Dog surprised fans with a new mode for The Last of Us Part 2, which is the chronological experience update, which
Capcom.
is kind of a head scratcher, but seems sort of cool nonetheless. Obviously, The Last of Us Part 2 has a lot of flashbacks. It kind of jumps between parallel stories. This just takes everything and puts it in the order in which it happened. And that's it. That's how you can do it. If you do it, you can get some trophies, and you can get some new costumes that are they make they're Uncharted costumes, which is like
Drake and Sam outfits for Tommy.
Yeah, I thought we got another one.
I mean,
they're pretty cool.
This is neat. Obviously, like I think Last of Us fans are kind of like sitting there twiddling their thumbs, and it's pretty clear that we're not going to be hearing about The Last of Us Part 3 for a cool minute, if ever. So I don't know. It's nice they're keeping the lights on.
That's
over there.
The Last of Us. That actually looks kind of good.
And this is coming from someone who I will at this point openly admit that when the original game came out, I loved it. When the first season of the show came out, I loved it. When the second season of the show came out, I did not. And I'm pretty fatigued on this world and this story and these characters at this point.
And I never played it.
Always willing to give it another shot, you know. And if there's like I think that the original game is great. I think the sequel is amazing. I think the DLC between the two of them, Left Behind, is like also great. Like I like a lot of the stuff in here. But after the second season, I was like, I'm good on this story for a while, right? Like I will take a third story, but like I'm pretty good on The Last of Us Part 2 as a narrative device for a very long time.
Too bad they don't come up with new shit.
Oh, we put out this new remixed version where like it opens with Abby, and I'm like, oh, well, that's actually that's the one way to get me to replay a game that I probably wouldn't have replayed anyway, right? So I think that's pretty interesting. I saw some folks like who are like big Last of Us fans talking about how it feels like a different game now. And there's thinking about how much stuff I loved in the second half of the game based around Abby's story and sort of specific moments there, and getting to experience those earlier on is really interesting to me. So yeah, this is I think just from like a storytelling perspective, even if you hate the second game or not, this is really fascinating, and it's something I'd be interested to see other studios take a crack at. You know, like there are so many games that have flashback sequences. Ghost of Yotei is one of them. We just talked about it, but yeah, to have flashback sequences woven into the main narrative, but then playing those in the proper timeline order is really interesting to me. So yeah, I don't know if I'll go through a full replay, but I think I will boot this up and just see how it feels.
What the hell?
It's odd. They recommend this is not a way for first time players to play it. It's more like this is a cool way of getting some different context and new perspectives on the story. It's also a fairly relatively low lift way to get some more mileage out of the game. You know, it's a immensely huge undertaking to make a AAA video game of this, you know, caliber, and this is a cool way to kind of be like, hey, you know, here's some more mileage. Here's an excuse for anybody who maybe you know, there's other ways to play it. But yeah, it also kind of reminds me of
is that it about Ghost of Yotei?
I don't know, it's like taking an album and putting it on shuffle, but if it's already on shuffle, it's sort of, you know, it's weird. It reminds me of when I think there was like a recut version of Memento that put the entire game or the entire movie in normal order, and the whole appeal there was that it goes backwards, you know, like it's a mystery in reverse. Like that's just, you know, it kind of defeats the purpose. But yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of other games that could even accomplish this, but then most of the time you get flashbacks and they are like, you know, strictly narrative, very brief cutscene, walk and talk sequences, or they're tied to a tutorial, or they're you know, you're unlocking something, and it wouldn't work like that. But it's kind of interesting.
I think that's it about for Ghost of Yotei.
This game, you know, is able to do that, and that you know, the flash.
Yeah, I think this is a really cool like.
What the hell, bro?
Consoles, and yeah.
Are we there already?
That's a thing.
Just got our first exclusive.
Nice.
But sure.
The PlayStation 6 is a thing that will happen at some point. We know that. They're probably going to call it the PlayStation 6. I would be really shocked if they didn't, if they, you know, if they deviated from this numbering sequence at this point. But whatever. They can't say that until they're announcing that that's what it's called. They can't acknowledge that that's a thing that they're doing until they announce that's what it's doing. But
Haha,
you know, Mark
Demon
Cerny
Souls, baby.
is hanging out with people from AMD.
I hope we get a
they're
Demon
having
Souls,
conversations
a
on the record
Bloodborne
about,
remake for the PS6.
You know,
that would make
doodads
me
and
buy a
microchips
PS6 if we had a Bloodborne
high-tech
remake.
technology, and some of it kind of alludes to what I think are going to be the selling points.
Other than that, I don't know,
talking
man.
points, you know, for the PlayStation 6 when it comes along. And
or a Dark
you know,
Souls
part of the
2
reason I say
remake.
that is that they're already the selling points of the PS5 Pro.
But
the
that
big
wouldn't
thing
even
is
make sense because that's not of a
it's the
Sony exclusive.
PSSR. It's the powerful silent sustained reading. I always forget the name of it, but it's the thing that generates art. It uses AI to generate frames to fill in a frame rate. And I feel like this is going to be a big, like if this is a thing that the PS6 is leaning on, which seems like it will be, I think a big conversation next gen is how it's utilized, because apparently the big deal is that if you have a high frame rate already, it's really good at kind of bumping it up higher and keep filling in the blanks. But if you have a low frame rate to begin with, it's just gonna kind of suck. And it's it's the difference between something that looks really good and something that looks kind of off, and you're not exactly sure why. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I always like we're trying to telegraph what the what the future controversies are surrounding games based on technology that has not been officially confirmed. So take it all with a big
All right.
spoonful of salt. But
spoonful of
I
salt.
mean, I think saying the PS6 is going to use AI for like its processing power is kind of like, well, duh.
Yeah.
After they put so much of a focus onto it with the PS5 Pro. So, I'm not surprised that they're going to utilize this powerful tool when it comes to computing all this data extreme and lines of code extremely quickly to do very specific, to run the game as optimal as possible. So I'm not surprised by that, and I won't be shocked if they say that they're not using AI. That would be more of a shocker when it comes to the PS6 than it's going to be powered by AI.
Yeah, I think that like AI has become a pretty sort of grimy term. It's been a catch-all for people who can't write a sentence without consulting Chat GPT and the most horrific looking Mid-Journey images you've ever seen. But and I'm like staunchly against all that crap. But video games have been using AI for decades, right?
Yep.
And so like it's
how they control your NPCs and enemies and all that stuff. It's all AI.
All of that. I think that like my larger concern is just like we are. It feels like we've barely scratched the surface on this generation. It's not like exactly that I'm playing these games and I'm seeing the seams. The issue more is that it's like they're requiring more and more people and more time to develop. So anything that can alleviate that is a hope for me. Like I don't want to just see the power of the PS6 can close studios 75% faster or whatever. Like we don't like it's bleak right now in terms of those things to be.
Well, I don't think they need to close studios. I just think they need to cut down the amount of employees.
Sony's had a lot of struggles this generation just getting PS5 games out, and a big part of that is because they mandated to put like 13 studios on games as a service games, and very few of which actually came into fruition. And so I don't know what I want from the PS6 yet, right? I want game development to be easier for people. I want people to be able to keep their jobs longer, and I want games to come out more. Like I think that like I want to find a good balance of people being able to feed their families and develop video games, and consumers being able to play them when they come out. Like fix that, you know, let's get there.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, it's diminishing returns in terms of presentation and graphics. Like there's that sort of graphical arms race to get to, nigh photorealism, and we're kind of there, So now it's like, okay, how do you do that sustainably, and how do you do that in a way that's fun and entertaining? And that's the question. So does this solve for that, or does it, it's effectively it's Jackie Thomas has this whole big write-up about this on IGN.com, and it's really fascinating for the parts of it that I can understand. Some of it uses words I've never even seen before, but no, she points out that like AMD and NVIDIA have acknowledged that it's getting harder to shrink the manufacturing process and add more transistors to chips, so software is the way to improve performance, which I'm trying to tell if that's, I don't make games, so I don't know exactly how that's going to help in the long run, but it's an interesting thing to think about, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's again like there's AI is a blanket term. It can mean, it can mean, again, like Brian, you said, like hideous things generated using stolen art from the internet, or it can mean like what the ghosts do in Pac-Man, like how they like how an enemy treats you, or it can be something in between where, if your game is running at 45 frames a second, this thing jumps in and bumps it to 60.
All right. Let's jump into some Grandpa High on Retro. All right. Grandpa, high on retro. Just wait a second. Yo. Alright, so this is Grandpa high on retro. We're gonna jump right into chapter 1. Let's go.
Oh, this is life. What a beautiful moment. Fuck. I have to go to another funeral.
Quite the contrary. What about an adventure?
Nope. What?
Please don't hang up. I'm the woman you keep staring during the whole DUI meeting.
Oh, I can't help myself when I see a gorgeous woman.
Yeah. Cut the bullshit. I'm calling you because I need your help. In the meeting, you told that you used to be in the military, right?
Not only in the military, I was a ranger. And that always attract women. Am I right?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I need a favor from you, but please don't ask why.
Wait, give me a second.
Yeah. I love this old man, man.
What the fuck?
I already love him.
Okay, continue.
I need you to smuggle me out of the U.S. I already have one of my guys going to pick you up in a purple van. And one more thing, the feds are looking for me everywhere.
I'm too high and too old for this shit. I'm sorry, lady, but I'm not doing shit.
I will have sex with you.
Wait, what?
If you do this for me, I will sleep with you.
What's the color of the van again?
Purple. The van is purple.
Wait, what?
Fuck. The feds were listening the whole time. They will come for you. Move fast.
I'm on my way. Charlie, bring the guns from downstairs and meet me at the door.
Okay, Grandpa.
Grandpa is fucking tonight. Listen very closely. What I'm about to tell you, turd. Tonight needs to go perfect.
Grandpa's
just like
fucking
your
tonight.
grandma titties. Grab that shotgun and kill all the pigs you see. Your grandpa needs some pussy back in his life.
Oh, wow, Grandpa.
Alright. Okay. Okay. Alright. Oh, fuck.
Shit, the feds are going crazy.
That was easy. It's over here. Hold on, I'm gonna look over here real quick. Oh, fuck. I didn't see that guy. Damn, I almost died, bro. Alright.
I need more of this shit.
I got a shotgun. Hold up. Wait a second. Real quick. Alright. Let's see. Who's this lady?
Princess! Come here, princess!
You better fix
Princess,
your shit. The feds
I
are
have
looking
some
for you.
delicious yummy snack! Princess!
Got him. Oh shit.
This is the spot.
Dang, that health doesn't even really do a lot. Got him. Bitch, don't get back up. It's a quick way to die, bro. Oh, look, some health. Alright, let's get this.
Fuck yeah.
Alright. Saw this old ass man with a gun. I'm dead, bro. Bitch. Alright. Fair enough, fair enough. Throw some health right here.
This hits the spot.
Got him. Thanks, son. Alright. Let's move it. Fuck the police. Health.
I need more of this shit.
Alright. Why are you shooting at me, bro? Hold up. Hold up, hold up. Stupid cop. Alright.
This hits the spot.
Let's see. Shit, man. Alright. I guess I'm going this way. Wait, hold up. Okay, the jumping, it seems to not work sometimes. Like, I could jump, I could roll, but now I can't jump. Sometimes it just goes out. That's weird.
Fuck yeah.
Alright.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Don't take another step! Are you the guys?
Young man, I suggest you lower your weapon if you want to go home tonight.
Yeah, you are them for sure. Get in quick. The boss is waiting.
Okay, but first we need to stop at the drugstore.
I can't do that, sir. She will kill me if we are late. Okay. The boss will need to wait a little bit. Fuck me, a lot longer. The boss will need to wait a lot longer.
Grandson, I'm really proud of you. Your mom will have been happy to see you.
Yeez, Grandpa. Thank you.
Yeah! I'm just going to wait inside the van.
Alright.
Sunshine bright. Got my American weed, everything's right. Got it extra green.
So, how do you know my boss?
The only thing you need to know is that you better find a drugstore before I shoot you in the leg.
Oh, come on! It's impossible to find a drugstore open at this hour. Where am I supposed to find one open?
Oh, there's a store open.
You better yield. 3, 2.
You are a cranky old timer. You really need to relax and have a blowjob or smoke some weed.
I don't want new kids. Less if it's coming from your boss.
Wait, what did you just tell me? Are you been awarded with the privilege to fuck my boss?
Yes, I am.
That is awesome! Her breast was sculpted by God itself, and the best part is that she has smooth curves to ride. I dream about her almost every night.
And you are going to still keep dreaming.
What the fuck, dog?
Welcome to my drugstore. How can I help you today?
I did not understand a single word coming out of your mouth, but where can I find the extra large condoms?
Ha! No extra large condoms for you, only extra small for you.
Don't test my patience. Please show me where I can find the extra large condoms.
Oh, now you understand every word coming out of my mouth. Wait a moment. Anything else, my favorite gringo?
Nope, that's all. Wait, please add some energy drink and the Viagra as well.
I knew you had a small cock.
What any of this has to do with my cock?
What cock? Who's old? Grandpa Hell is not going to do anything about it.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow we'll give you a surprise visit.
No surprise visit tomorrow. Next customer in line.
Go, Junior. I got you your favorite energy drink.
Thank you, Grandpa.
Wait, are you crazy? That will kill him!
It's quite the opposite. He always falls asleep without them.
That's exactly why you don't feed them that stuff.
Shut up, you little bitch, and tell me where your boss is located.
Yeah, about that. They captured her and put her in the basement of a building.
Is she really worth it? Fuck it. Take me to that building.
I knew you wouldn't back down. But to enter the building, you must go through the forest and the back door. Are you still up to it?
Do you think I am a little bitch like you? We are doing this. Listen to me very well and very closely, because I will not be going to tell you a second time. Don't cock block me.
What the fuck?
My friend, you really need a doctor.
Just watch my grandson while I rescue your boss. Goodbye, champ. Grandpa needs to rescue a woman in that building right there. Please don't kill the van guy and finish your special juice, no matter what that guy tells you.
Okay, Grandpa.
Alright, y'all. Let's get it. Alright, so I got the revolver again. Shit. Shit. Alright. Let's get the pistol. Fuck it. Damn, I died, bro. Fuck. Alright, let's go. Stupid bitch.
This hits the spot.
Nice. Alright. Keep it pushing. What up, Raouf? This is Grandpa High on Retro.
I hope Junior is okay, but I have to do this.
Some pretty high quality shit. Some low budget Metal Gear. Bro, this is high quality, bro. This is high quality shit right here.
Fuck yeah.
They got a new DLC dropping for this game too. Alright, hold up. Let's see. Whoa, 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 whoa! Yeah, it really is. You're an old man on a mission to save a girl so you could get laid.
This looked like a dead end.
Alright. There's gotta be some health around here or something. They're the feds, I don't know. They're supposed to be federal agents. Yeah. Let's go this way. A miner? Wait, what? No, not a miner. A woman who's being chased by the feds. She got captured. I have no idea. They don't really tell you. She just calls you up and says, "Can you smuggle me out of the country?"
I need more of this shit.
I have no idea. So I'm trying to figure out. Oh! No! That sucks. That was low-key some bullshit. Alright. I think I went this way, right? Alright. Yeah, it was this way. And then I went that way. Or was it this way? No, I went this way. There's a guy right around this corner. Alright then. Oh, bro. Son of a bitch. Alright. Let's see. Wait, was it this way? I don't think it was this way that I went. Was it? No way. It wasn't this way. Maybe it was. I'm confused. Hold up. Alright, yeah, this is the way, this is the way. Got him. It kind of reminds me of the old Max Payne. Alright. Alright, so I guess that was just ammo and shit. Let's go this way. Maybe, when I find this chick. Alright, let me see. He said Grandpa is fucking tonight.
I just realized, what if she is in her period?
Bitch. Oh fuck. Hold up. Got him. Hold up. What the fuck? Alright, there we go. Alright, I'm gonna go back and get that health.
This hits the spot.
Alright. Let's see. This game is low-key good. Damn! Let me get this. What is it? Hold up. Get out of my way. Alright. Nice.
Well, that was easy. Finally, I'm out of the forest.
So what's this game's story? Alright, so this guy, he's smoking weed at the beginning, and then some lady calls him on the phone, and is like, I need you to smuggle me out the country, and he's like, oh, I'm good. And hangs up, and then she calls him, she's like, the feds are after me, you gotta smuggle me out. And he's like, nah, I'm good. And then she's like, I'll have sex with you. And he's like, wait, what? Where you at? And then the feds captured her, and the feds are coming after you. Because they heard you talking on the phone with her.
Yeah.
So he goes to try to save her. And that's what I got so far. Kind of reminds me of Max Payne though. Like real talk, the old Max Payne. Yeah, this shit's funny. The only thing I don't have is the slow motion. And the diving. Alrighty. Grab the gun. Alright, there we go. Let's see.
I need more of this shit.
Alright. Let's see. Got him. Alright. Bruh. You got grenades and everything. Oh! I just died. That's some bullshit. Punk. Alright. Let me see, I need some health. There we go.
This hits the spot.
Alright, what's over here? Wait, wait. Hold up, what's through this door? Over here. Wait, wasn't there another door? No. Alright, this is the door. Just want to make sure I explore a little bit. Looks like you could explore quite a bit for such a small game. It was only a gigabyte, but they have a new DLC coming out for the game. And it looks hilarious, so I want to play the first one. I want to play the base game. Alright, let's see, let's see. What the fuck? Alright. You can't climb. Sad. Sadness. Hold up. Bitch. Alright, alright. I need some health. Bad.
I need more of this shit.
Said I need more of this shit. Haha. Alright. Where the fuck am I going now? I'm low-key lost. Alright, here we go. Bitch.
Fuck. I left my weed in the van.
Alright. Let me see. What up, Bethany? Welcome. Oh, you're welcome. I always greet everybody.
I need more of this shit.
I'm alright. Yup. Ha. Thank you. Yeah, this game's pretty sick. It was only $6 on Steam. Yo, I'm from California.
Yeah. This hits the spot.
Alright. Where's the button? I need to find the button. Button. Where's it at? Huh. What the fuck, dog? Maybe I go this way. No, I'm not playing standing up. I'm sitting down. Shit. Alright, got it. Damn, I need some health. That's right. Florida's dope. Damn, almost died right there. Bruh. No! Alright. Let's see. Where do I go? Do I go this way? Alright, yeah. This way. What drew me into Ghost of Yotei? The story, the visuals, of the combat? Most likely the combat. The story's alright, it seems like. But it's mostly the combat. And the visuals. I was really just watching the state of play. 'Cause I like Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah. You play those games or what? What, in this game? I haven't found any, no. PUBG. I haven't played PUBG. I heard it was good though. Oh, damn. Son of a bitch. Dude, the range on the shotgun sucks ass. What about VR? You know what? I actually do like VR. I had a MetaQuest 2 for a while. I sold it though. But there was a game on there, I can't think of it right now. But it was like you explored ancient Egypt,
yeah.
And you were like all these different characters. It's pretty sick. And I like Battle Talent too. Battle Talent on the MetaQuest is sick. Dude, why was I not hitting him? That was kind of bullshit. Oh, wow. Dropped him one shot. Alright. Got him. Yeah, but I play all kind of different games on here. There's a game on MetaQuest 2 where you're in like ancient Egypt and you fight some like Egyptian gods and stuff. It's pretty cool. I can't think of the name right now. But I was playing that game for a while, and that game was actually pretty badass. And Battle Talent. Those are probably the two best VR games that oh, and Resident Evil 4. I haven't tried any of the PlayStation VR, PC VR games.
Nothing is going to stop me from getting laid.
Bitch. Bitch. Alright, alright.
I need more of this shit.
Oh yeah, I like Souls games. Souls-like. Those are my favorite. Medieval, third-person action RPGs and stuff like that. Souls like Dark Souls. Similar games.
This is the spot.
Yeah. Alright. Let's see. Got the gate open. What's good? Where they at? Where they at? What's this? I don't need it. Alright. Oh shit, what's going on here? I don't need none of that shit. What's going on out here? Hold up. Oh, let's see if I can get a grenade over there. Oh, nice. What about? He's got an automatic or what? I switch it up, but Souls games are like what I play a lot. Metal Gear Solid. I'm playing Grand Theft Auto 4 right now. 2. I play different stuff. Come on, bro. Got him. Oh, fuck. That's all bad. Alright, hold up. Dude, that was a lot of guys. Alright, alright. Let's go see if I can pick up that rifle he dropped out the window. Look, he dropped it out the window, look. Nice. Oh, I'm ready for GTA 6.
Fuck yeah.
I'm actually considering getting in one of those GTA 5 roleplay servers. I want to try that shit out. It looks kind of fun. But yeah, GTA 6.
What a bunch of bitches. They
love
thought
Grand Theft
they
Auto,
can stop me.
I hope it's good. I'm sure it will be. Rockstar's a good game developer. Okay, okay. Alright. I knew there was gonna be somebody right there. I just knew it. I just had a feeling. Alright. Oh shit. I didn't see that guy at all. Yeah, I think getting in the roleplay server might be fun. Alright, for sure. Come on, come on. Whoa, 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 what's that? Hold up. You can do judo kicks and shit? Ha! I gotta hit somebody with one of those. Hold up. Let me find somebody to kick.
This hits the spot.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe for a little bit. I'll probably be on for like around like 7:30 probably right now, or until this game is done. I don't think it's gonna be that long. What's my name? Betty King. Nah. My real name is Bryson. But they call me Fetty King. Fetty? Yup, yup. That's me. Bruh, pick the fucking rifle up. Wait, I can't pick it up? It's not letting me pick it up. Wow. What kind of garbage is that?
I need more of this shit.
I don't know. Oh look, we got a little crawl space right here. Little vent shaft. Hold up, what's in here? Nothing? Nothing? Let's see. Damn, this shit's long, bro. Okay, okay. Got some health right here. Can't use it. Already got full health.
Why this vent is so fucking long.
That's funny as hell, bro. I just said the same thing. Come on. Ow. Alright, we got bullets, we got bullets. Dude, I feel like Scarface with this thing. You got the AR and shit. That carbine rifle. Tony Montana had. Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa! Wow. I'm throwing a grenade in there. Oh, it didn't make it. No! Son of a bitch! Where you going, bro?
She must be down here.
Let's see. grab this.
This hits the spot.
Hold up. What do we got over here? Some more health, more ammo. What's down here, bro? What the fuck? Let me see, let me see. Roll it, roll it. Ugh. Okay. Okay. Whoa, bro. Alright, alright. What's this? What is that thing? What is that thing? Oh, it's a turret. Holy shit. Hold up, hold up. Bro, that thing's gonna kill me. Damn! That's all bad. Bro. Got it. Stupid turret. Alright. Bruh. Kidding me. Killing me. Shit. Damn. Shit's harder than it looks, y'all. There we go, there we go. Bitch, let me get that. Alright, alright. Is there like a boss or something?
Yeah.
At the end? That'd be crazy. There we go. What's this? Shotgun? I'm good. Shotgun sucks. Unfortunately, the shotgun sucks in this game. Alright. There we go. Hold up. Didn't look like he had a weapon, huh? Let's see. Yo, you can join the Discord or something, or you can send it to me on Twitter, but I have no money for any kind of like artwork or anything like that right now.
Help!
Whoa, 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 where's she at? Where's she at? I found her. Where the fuck's she at?
Help!
It looks like someone is tied up.
It's about time you show up.
Your dumbass assistant drives really slow.
Either way, thank you for doing this. I was starting to worry. You got scared of the feds and lied to me about your military experience.
And why I would do that?
I don't know. That's much better.
Come on.
This
Let's
the woman?
get you out of this place.
Wait!
What are you doing? We have to go.
Your military experience was true. Let's see if your other legends are true. I'm giving you what you came here for.
Whoa, whoa.
Oh, God bless America.
Grandpa's back. Grandpa's back. Tell your grandma.
Hey.
Guess who's back, 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 back. Tell your grandma, 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 tell your grandma. Hold on, let me take a hit.
Wait, I have to tell you some deep shit. Thank you for getting me laid. Because, I don't know if you notice, but I did not had any sex for a while. And you better leave a good review.
Oh, yeah.
Guess who's back, guess who's back, guess who's back, guess who's back. Tell your grandma, 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 tell your grandma. Hold on, let me take a hit.
Well, that's it, I guess. They got a new DLC dropping, though, I guess, for this. Let's check it out. Let's check out this DLC. Hold up. Yeah, we got a new DLC dropping for this game, so let's check it out. Grandpa. Oh, he said finally doing Elden Ring Torch only. Yeah, this guy does some crazy Elden Ring shit. Grandpa high on retro DLC. Alright, this is the DLC trailer.
Grandpa, I need your help.
Oh, fuck me. Come on, sport. What do you need my help with?
Please take me to the hospital.
Did you get shot?
No, but my girlfriend needs some help.
I'm sorry, guys, but your girlfriend can't get pregnant. Her body has an army of bacteria that kills every single sperm before reaching the egg.
Oh, that's great news.
Oh, come on, Grandpa, this is serious.
Yes, please help us, Grandpa.
Doctor, is there something we can do to help?
Well, there's one thing you guys can do. You guys need to smoke this weed to shrink and emplace the sperm in her egg.
Hey, grandson, wake up. We are inside your girlfriend's vagina.
Whoa, this is awesome.
Either you have a big dick, or she has been with him. Now, let's get your girlfriend pregnant.
Yeah. That's pretty cool, man.
What's wrong, Doctor?
Okay, this is another one. Hold on.
Wrong,
This is
Doctor.
another trailer right
Sorry,
here.
guys, but your girlfriend can't get pregnant. Her body has an army of bacteria that kills all sperm before reaching the egg.
Oh, that's great news.
Oh, come on, Grandpa, this is serious.
Yes, please help us, Grandpa.
Doctor, is there something we can do to help?
Well, there's one thing.
They changed the
You
voice
need
of
to
the
smoke
doctor.
this weed so you can shrink and travel to the cervix.
This is some hillbilly type of shit.
Here are the guns, guys.
What for?
You need it for protection. Remember, there's bacteria inside her vagina.
Fuck yeah.
Dude.
Who is going to sleep with your wife? Grandpa. Who is going to chill but kill if he has to? Grandpa. Who is the guy that will put Triple S to sleep?
Hey, grandson, wake up. We are inside your girlfriend's vagina.
Whoa, this is awesome.
Either you have a big dick, or she has been with it.
That's it.
Now, let's get your girlfriend pregnant.
This ain't right, you ain't gotta tell me, I can feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick. Well, I can't wait for this DLC to drop. I don't know when it's gonna drop, but I got the game now, and the DLC's free, so when it comes out, it comes out. Alright, well, that's going to be it for now. I'm going to get back on and I'm going to play some Grand Theft Auto 4 later on tonight. But I just wanted to share that with y'all. But I'll be back with some more GTA 4 later on. But I got to take care of some stuff. Appreciate you guys watching. I will see y'all later. Thank you. Peace.